What's up guys, Peter here from Reviews on Anything, and in this video we're going to talk about how to take care of your outdoor gear. Now regardless of what you do outdoors or in what kind of environment you do it in, at some point your gear is going to get dirty. Whether that's from you sweating in it, from the environment itself, or for example waterproofing layers and such sort of wearing out over time. So you're going to need to take proper care of your gear, especially when you have high-end expensive gear. Obviously you want it to last as long as possible, and obviously you want it to perform as good as possible as well. That's where these come in. This is a selection of products from Nikvox, and Nikvox is a very special brand. Not only is it one of the leading brands when it comes to waterproofing and sort of making sure your gear stays clean, but it's also a brand that takes pride in how it approaches its products in terms of environmental friendliness. So it's actually quite an interesting brand to look at. Now these are four products that sort of work in harmony with each other, but also work very well by themselves. So we're going to take a closer look and see what's what, and I'm going to tell you more about the environmental angle as well. Alright, so let's have a look at these four Nikvox products, and we're going to kick it off with the Downwash Direct here. Obviously this is used to wash down products, so you can think anything from jackets like this to sleeping bags or anything that might have down in it. Down obviously is great because it's so super light, but it's also very good in isolation. So it works very well in cold and dry conditions. But inevitably you're going to get it wet at some point, either with the weather, but also by sweating inside your sleeping bag or inside your jacket, for example. And the down is going to lose its abilities to insulate and to repel water. And that's where this comes in. So this is something you put in the washing machine together with whatever might have down in it that you want to clean. And you just run a normal washing cycle. So it's really super easy and there's no extra work required. What it does though is it restores the down's breathability to soak up that air that keeps you so nice and warm, but it also adds a lot of water repellency to make sure that water is pushed out and that the down can keep on functioning optimally. Next up are two products that are very similar in what they do. We got the TechWash and the TX Direct Wash-In, and both are designed to add a water repellency to your gear. Now the TechWash is a bit more of an all-rounder. You can wash your clothes with it, but it's also, for example, for climbing robes, backpacks, tents and so on. Anything that you want to have optimal water repellency in. The TX Direct Wash-In is a bit more aimed at clothing and garments, so you can think a jacket like this, a rain jacket, but you can also think ski pants, for example, anything that comes in direct contact with water. Now, key here is that they provide water repellency. You can imagine when you have a jacket like that, over time it will lose its ability to resist the water properly. That's where these two come in. They go in the washing machine just as easy. So your garment or whatever that you're washing gets fully soaked through with the product, including the seams and anything where you might have leaks. And it provides an extra layer of water repellency and sort of reboosts your garments or backpack or whatever it might be, ability to repel water and to stay dry. So two very handy products that you'll use over time, especially when you're using your garments a lot. You definitely want to make sure that over time you use this on a regular basis to make sure that you keep your garments and your tents and your backpacks and everything that you might use this on performing optimally. Now last but certainly not least, we got Base Fresh, and this is a very interesting product because it is designed especially for garments that you wear close to your body, base layers. So you can think anything from thermal underwear to compression shirts like this one, ski socks, you name it, anything that is close to your body and most of the times in direct contact with your body. Anybody who's ever worn those knows that they're great, but after a few times they start to get smelly, there's a buildup of stains and so on. Obviously coming from oils coming directly from your body, from sweat, from getting wet and dirty from the outside, and you can't really get them properly cleaned anymore. That's where the Base Fresh comes in. This is sort of a revitalizing product that makes sure that all those garments that are in direct contact with your body get a proper fresh up. It does it in such a way that it still maintains all the wicking abilities that those undergarments might have. So whether it's pushing sweat away from you or making sure that heat stays on you, it makes sure that it treats those garments in such a way that those abilities maintain. So it's certainly not some kind of chemical clean that destroys all the function of your base layers, but it's actually enhancing those layers and making sure they do their job properly. So this is something you put in the washing machine as well, but this is something you put together with your normal detergent. So there's no use for a separate load like with the other products we saw earlier. So that's actually quite convenient. You can just chuck it in like you normally would wash it, and then you add a bit of this and then all is well. So these are the four Nikvox products that we have for review for you today. Alright, so conclusion time. What do we make of this small sample of Nikvox products? I think there's two elements to it. First of all, the performance, obviously, but that should speak for itself. Nikvox is obviously a name associated with anything from waterproofing to taking care of your gear, and it's aimed at people that really want to take care of their gear. You can imagine when you have a 500, 600, 700 euro jacket that you want to keep it in good shape, and therefore, you know, you want to have good products to do so. So they perform well, which I think is obviously key, and probably the number one thing that you want to demand from a brand like Nikvox and from the products that they offer. The second element is obviously the reason why we are outside right now. I think it makes no sense to use highly toxic, highly chemical products on your outdoor gear that are maybe, you know, good in waterproofing, but are designed to also destroy that same environment you're trying to enjoy. And I think it's admirable that a company like Nikvox is actually recognizing that and putting a lot of care and emphasis on the environmental elements in their products. Because obviously, you know, it makes no sense to destroy the great outdoors that we're trying to enjoy, not only for us but also for future generations. So I think it's admirable that Nikvox does it the way they do it. It's something I think other companies and other brands in this space can and should aspire to, because in the end, you know, we all have to share this planet, so why not preserve it a little where we can. And I think, you know, with the quality products that Nikvox offers, there's plenty to choose from to make sure that your gear stays in optimal shape. This is Peter from Reviews on Anything, with a little bit of a serious message here at the end, but still obviously enjoying the outdoors and enjoying testing these products. Thank you, Nikvox, for providing us with the review units. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Subscribe to the channel, that helps us out a lot, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Cheers!